You've heard some of the worst songs get the most numbers. Why? Because people will pass that shit around like, yo, look how trash this shit is.
The state of rap as an art form is thriving, but even more so business wise, regardless to what folks say about streaming.
I'm not rich, but there's motherfuckers that know me that think I'm rich.
The subway conductor or light rail conductor is not what I did.
I just developed that way of rapping because I used to live in London. That comes from like me liking grime music, me liking all that type of shit. How I would respond to it if somebody called me out and I felt like it was worthy of a response.
SK Vibemaker.
SK Vibemaker, my interviews are hotter. You know we bring through the best special guests. We are not changing tradition anytime soon. Today we have two very special guests in the virtual room. I'm in the UK, they're over there in the United States of America. We have Conductor and Rome Streetz in the virtual room. How you guys doing today?
Peace, man.
Yeah. Good, man. I feel good.
We have this beautiful project, Trainspotting. Obviously, you guys have your Griselda connections. But what actually made you in 2025 say that you're actually going to thrash out a whole project together? What made you guys come to that decision, get in the studio and build this project together?
We've been working on music for a long time. We was working on Kiss the Ring. And then when Kiss the Ring was done, still making more music. And, you know, we just never stopped. Master Pill want to give us a bag for some music. Like, all right, bet. We got it.
Conductor, what's it like working with Rome Streetz?
It's like working with a, I don't know, man. It's like first cousin vibes. It's my very dangerous first cousin. That's what it's like. Like I can't think of it no other way. Like that's just my man. So the music comes easy, and it's a pretty simple process. You know, daunting at times because he's a brilliant MC. So I got to be A game ready. But in my case, I'm creating every day. He's creating every day. So when we link up, it's family. It's rap. It's you know what I'm saying. Silence. Sometimes we talk. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes, you know what I mean? It's just like real comfortable.
The music gonna speak. Yes.
Real
comfortable.
Now, I'm a follower of you guys' careers. You know what I'm saying? Conductor, you've been going crazy with the production. Rome Streetz, you have a discography of music that a lot of people in the UK are following and worldwide. But there's some people out there that, you know, aren't as familiar with you. And I like asking this question. Rome Streetz, when you enter a room and people aren't as familiar with you, how do you introduce yourself, man?
Oh, like, yo, man, I'm Rome Streetz. How you doing? And then most of the time people are like, oh, that's an interesting name, like, you know. And then it just goes from there. Like, oh, why'd you call yourself that? Why? You know, and I just explain to them, like, you know, I'm an artist. I make music. I'm a musician. I'm a creator.
I mean, I ask these questions because I always think that the self-description is interesting because how artists themselves describe themselves versus how people perceive them is often two separate things. So when people ask you, Rome, what type of rapper you are, how do you explain that, man?
I just be like, I'm a traditional rapper. Like, you like, you know, shit like Nas. Most of the time people understand the sound of it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, you know, I have a bunch of different styles. You might hear some shit and be like, oh, I like that version of you. I like the way you rhymes on that. So it's like, you know, I rap and people be like, oh, well, where can I hear some stuff? And I'm like, and then they ask me, who are some of your influences? And then I tell them, and then they be like, oh, okay, I get it.
What about you, Conductor? You walk into a room, people have kind of heard the name. They're not, you know, they're not too up on what you do as a creative, as a producer, as a musician. How do you introduce yourself and tell people what you do, man?
If I had to, okay, that's the caveat is if I had to. Generally, I just won't. But if I had to, and they were really interested and they seemed genuine, I'd just say that I'm a sample-based music producer, hip hop influence, collage, artist sound, anything that makes a sound, I piece together and make it into hip hop.
Sonically, how would you describe your sound?
Raw, lived in, distressed, and unpredictable.
Now let's talk about this song, Died 1,000 Times. It starts with the sample, the robots are going to kill us all. Rome, how are you with AI, man? Are you fully embracing it, or are you kind of apprehensive about
Um,
embracing AI?
I can't say I'm fully embracing it, but I can't say I'm not. Obviously, like I dropped a AI clip for a song on my Instagram, so I understand how it could be useful, but I see the dangers of it. So that whole the robots is gonna kill us, like I understand how that could happen if we don't, put our foot down to some degree.
Conductor, are you embracing some of the AI tools when it comes to production? I know Timberland's been having the internet in a fix with, like, embracing the AI stuff like that he's been doing, man. But how are you with AI and embracing that into the production and that?
I get it. I haven't used it. I don't use stems either. For all the beat makers out there, I'm talking about. But this shit is it's been the same way for me since I started making music in 2008. The records are puzzle pieces, the sounds, the skits, all of this stuff are puzzle pieces. So for AI tools, for me, it doesn't make it fun. So if I can take the drums out of an Isley Brothers record and then had a sample, take the vocals out and had a melody and then loop it, to me, I'm not saying that's not production, but that's just not fun to me to do that. So, and a lot of this shit for me is little puzzle pieces, and that's another thing. You asked a question earlier, working with Rome. I think Rome and I work from the same place, and I work out of puzzles, and the more challenging the sample, the more interested I am. And with Rome, if I could send over Rome Streetz type beats all day, and he probably would rap on them, but it's not interesting and it's not inspiring. So as far as AI, man, I just haven't dove into it because I like the way I've been doing things for the past, like, I don't know, 10, 15 years.
Now, Rome, I gotta say, died 1,000 times. The flow that you come in with on this track here is bananas. Like, the flow can often be underestimated when it comes to rappers of your expertise and talent. You know what I'm saying? Now, this might be a funny question I'm asking you because this might just be normal to you. But how does an MC develop a flow like that? And what tips do you have for MCs that are trying to develop their flow?
I would say, all right, I just developed that way of rapping because I used to live in London. That comes from like me liking grime music, me liking all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And like that shit, I remember like when I was over in London and shit and just like getting into grime, it was more about flows. You know what I'm saying? Like it was more flows than like let's say like lyrics. And then
Nah,
the
nah, nah.
lyrics started.
Rome, don't do us like that,
Listen to
man.
what I'm saying. You know why I'm gonna say that? Is because they used to just do things that was just flow based. They weren't even saying words.
Depends
Tell
what
me,
MCs you've been listening to,
but
bro.
listen, I was listening to garage before it turned into grime. Like you understand what I'm
Wow.
saying? Like I remember when Soul Solid Crew came out. That's when I was living in London. Like when 21 Sec. That was like the first song I heard. I was like, oh, this shit is hard. Like, oh shit.
You're
You
talking
hear me?
99 year 2000 times.
Yeah. That's 2001, 2002, man. You understand what I'm saying? So like I remember all of that shit. And it used to be flows, but then certain artists came out after and they was more like they were heavier, I mean, into lyrics. You get what I'm saying? Like so with me, it's like I understood how having mad different ways to bring your lyrics across like is an interesting thing. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, like I've been listening to rap forever, but just like that type of shit that comes from like me with grime music and just liking that shit.
Now, I want to say, like, Rome, you definitely said that you was listening to grime music, and I'm just not going to let you get away with saying that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people say they know about grime, but I feel like they don't really know
Yeah, I
about
know.
grime. But
I know.
what grime MCs do you know about, though, Rome? Like, what grime
Bro,
MCs do you know
my
about?
favorite grime MC was D. Before that, it was mother who did I like before D Double? I liked Kano was nice. Um Wiley, Crazy Titch. Who else? Dizzy, obviously. Who did I like before that? Damn, so I can't remember, but like DWE is obviously like my favorite though.
Straight. Have you ever spoken to any of them, like D
Yeah,
Double
yeah, hell
Wiley and
yeah.
Kano?
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. I spoken to D Double, like in a DM and shit. You know about Cass is Dead?
Do I know about Cassie's Dead? I'm from North London, man. He's from my neck of the
Hey,
woods, man.
that's
Cassie's
my
Dead's
friend.
hard.
That's Listen, bro. I remember I known Cass is Dead since 2003, two probably. Not even like, that was just my friend type shit.
Okay.
Like I got songs with him.
Conductor, we're here talking about grime. Like obviously Rome came from like the UK, spent time out here, knows about UK culture a bit and that. Like, are you aware of anything of like what's going on here with the UK rap, like the grime, the UK drill, the sounds? Has it pricked your ear at all?
Nah, I don't. I don't, man. I haven't yet. You know what I'm saying? I haven't spent any time out there, and with the music and with the art, I haven't spent much time out there either. So yeah, you gotta send me a playlist or something, man. But give me a hip. I need a fire ass Spotify playlist that I get familiar because I'm not.
I mean, you're gonna get that playlist. Don't worry about that. So you're not too aware about the UK stuff and what's popping over here. There's a lot of things happening. But let me ask your take on the current state of rap music, Conductor. What's your take on the current state of rap music? How you feel about it?
I think it's healthy. I think the current state of rap for independent to major, the lines are even more blurred than they were before. You know, it really is about talent now, and that's why we're getting introduced to all these other things like AI and stuff because it's a wide open game. There's the gatekeepers might be about dead. You know, I seen this deal on Instagram a few weeks ago saying that we need to bring back gatekeepers, but I honestly feel like we're at the point of no return with that. It's about being dope. And there's a lot to dig through. But once you find the artists and the community that you really, really rock with, and you can pour into that community and buy the merch and buy the art, like the state of rap as an art form is thriving, but even more so business wise, regardless to what folks say about streaming and that, bro. Like you can find a community of 500 folks to support you, and that's a good way of living, you know. And but I'm pretty optimistic about things, right? So but I think we're in a great place, man. And, outside of the beefs and the east west, the back and forth that's always been a part of hip hop, we good, man. Like everybody's good. It's time to prove you can rap. And as a producer, I think it's time for us to provide music for those artists like Rome Streetz. You know what I'm saying?
A big part of the current music game and the rap game in particular, whether you like or loathe it, is the numbers. The numbers are very much there for everybody to see, man. Streaming numbers, digital streaming platforms, YouTube. Like you couldn't really see the numbers as much, like the fans couldn't before, like when it was record sales. But now you can very much see the numbers, and a lot is being made of the numbers. And a lot of people will have you believe that the songs with the big numbers on these digital streaming platforms on YouTube are the best songs since sliced bread, the best thing since sliced bread. PR, record labels, managers, or whatever. How much of a correlation do you feel like there is between songs with the big numbers and how good songs actually are?
It just depends on like what you're into. You get what I'm saying? Like if you into the quality of music, the numbers don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly to me, like on a grand scale of things, like numbers do correlate to which songs may be, better, but just because something like numbers could be manipulated, you get what I'm saying? But I like put it like this, right? If I drop an album tomorrow, I don't promote it, don't put out no single, don't do nothing, right? And I just put it out. After a month, the song that has the most views on that album to me will be like, okay, this one is performing the best, so this is the one everybody's gravitating to. So this is probably the best song on the album. You understand what I'm saying? I could look at it like that. You get what I'm saying? And numbers do dictate how good a song is perceived to be. But you've heard some of the worst songs get the most numbers. Why? Because people will pass that shit around like, yo, look how trash this shit is. And
Mm.
then after a month, it's like, yo, this shit got 100 million plays. Yeah, because people was laughing at it. But guess what? It made money. The person who made it is probably sitting at the table right now negotiating the deal. So at the end of the day, numbers do reflect a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? But just as a consumer, somebody who just solely listening to music that comes through the speaker, the numbers doesn't even matter. They only made numbers matter to fans once they made it matter. Before it didn't matter.
I feel the same sentiment as Rome. You know, like I couldn't have said it any better. The numbers matter in the way that they dictate who's listening to what potentially. But as a creative person, I don't ever think about numbers or the process of numbers or the output. I don't read reviews. It's just things that I personally stay away from. Um, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm siding with Rome on that, man. Numbers can reflect some things positively or negatively. Now a whole nother story is machines behind the numbers.
The
Now
bots.
you're getting into like that's a weary territory where it's like them might not even be real numbers. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So now you gasp and they're not even real numbers, bro. It was a trap. So that's why I really don't settle in on numbers that big. You know, I'd rather listen to the record for myself and pick the records that I like. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Conductor, let me talk about some of these productions on the project Trainspotting, because we've got Ricky Bobby and Runny Nose, which are two of my favorite productions. And the only way I can describe these productions is like glitchy kind of beats. So, talk to me about this style of these glitchy type of beats, man. Sounds like the beat's about to malfunction, or it's about to go kind of off beat, but it stays in beat, man. Talk to me about this approach of these type of beats you make, man.
Yeah, it's just me keeping the music as raw as possible at all time. You know, and I want it to feel like it has a soul, the samples, you know? So there's a lot of manipulation that happens before it goes into the drum machine, you know? So I don't want to get too techy about things here, but before what goes inside of the drum machine that I use to produce, what goes in is what comes out ultimately. So it's just that process of I liken it to if you ever looked up on YouTube how they make jeans, like Levi's make blue jean pants and stuff. It's the same process of that. It's just a tethering process that I use and to get that record to feel how I want. And then another thing happens that the explosive thing that happens, bro, is when the MC gets a hold of it and then they make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's kind of frustrating at times. It's like I can't make a Rome Streetz type of beat because Rome depicts the beats that he makes, you know, like that he likes. So it's like these beats could have possibly been in a beat pack. Others just didn't choose them because they didn't understand, or I don't know. So that's the kind of the magical thing about sending beats to Rome is like knowing that he'll understand them. And with those particular beats right there, especially Runny Nose, I knew instantly he would understand. And then Ricky Bobby's pretty straightforward. You know, it's 4/4 time signature, 83 4 beats per minute. It's easy. That's light work for Rome. Easy work for Meth too, you know what I'm saying? So I will say that the Ricky Bobby beat I probably made in like 10, 15 minutes. Like that beat happened really fast. I remember that day I made that joint. It like I heard the sample, chop, drums, done, send. Like it was fast, very fast.
Simple work. I want to talk about the story. Like, I think it's been documented that you used to work on the railway before you was a railway conductor. You've got the
Yeah.
producer tag. Conductor, we got a problem. Conductor, we got a problem. You know what I'm saying? I feel like anytime I hear that, it's madness. And I like when you just go ham with just like it coming in like before the song's finished and you hear a little sample sometimes. Talk to me about the story of that tag and like where you actually got the sample from, if you can, please.
Well, you'll have to find it. That's the part of the mystique is that you got to find it, and when you find it, then you'll be satisfied. So I don't want to take the uh Mickey Mouse out of the costume. You know, like you take the head off of Mickey Mouse, and it's a guy smoking, smoking a cigarette and shit. It's like, God damn, I thought it was Vicky,
He told us your mouth.
Like, 'cause I heard a story. It was a real scenario of you actually when you were working and someone
Nah,
conductor. We have
nah,
a problem.
hell nah.
Oh, okay.
False, wrong. I love that too, though. I love the
Yeah.
romantic thing that fans do with stuff, and that's what makes music magical, man. It's like imagine some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, in a lot of ways, I hate people found out, but it was me that said it. But I hate that I even said it because it's like something very magical about yo conductor, and it's like music, or is it electricity, or it's the railroad? Like, wait, what? Like, there's a thing with it, but no, it wasn't a tag from my personal life. And also, I want to say on your show that the subway conductor or light rail conductor is not what I did. Like I wasn't
Oh,
working in New York City or the bus drivers. We call them bus drivers.
yeah, yeah.
I was on the freight side of things. So I was like hauling coal, wheat, military equipment. I was in the diesel SD locomotives, you know, hauling freight across the country. I wasn't, working the commuter trains. Nothing wrong with those guys. They're great drivers, but it's some other shit. Like freight is some other shit. You know what I mean? So
The record has been set straight.
yeah, so I wanted to give you that on your show so that people can refer to this to see exactly what type of conductor. I never goddamn yelled all aboard. That ain't never happened. I didn't wear a whistle. I didn't wear the hat. I didn't wear a suit. Like I was in coveralls. I don't know what y'all call them out there, but like overalls,
Yeah,
bibs, overalls.
the
You know what I'm
uniform.
saying? Smoking cigars with a hat. You know what I'm saying? Just driving cross country. That's what I was doing.
Rome, I want to talk to you about this line where you say golden trap phones and a rapper head on my wall mount. There's been a lot of rap beef over the last couple years. I want to ask you how you respond to being called out, whether directly or indirectly. How do you respond to that as an MC, man?
How I would respond to it if somebody called me out and I felt like it was worthy of a response, like I'm at your neck right away. As soon as I hear it, I'm ready to go. Honestly.
You're here for the lyrical pugilism. You're here for the rap beef. You're here for that
Yeah, you know
competitiveness.
what I'm saying? If somebody calls me out, then yeah, I'd be here for it. But it has to make sense. You understand what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Like it depends on who the opponent is. It gotta be somebody worthy. Cause sometimes somebody could just call you out just so they get attention. It's like, yo, I don't even know you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a different thing. So,
I feel like if that happened, bro, it'd have to be somebody in New York.
yeah, or
Like
it,
it had to be somebody that knew you personally that felt like you not the king of New York. I am. That
mm,
type of shit. I think that would be it. I think
yeah,
anybody anywhere else, it would like you brush that shit off. Like you know what? I don't care.
yeah, honestly. Like, if somebody said my name in the rap beef that was going on recently, this East Coast, West Coast shit, I probably would have said some shit. Not probably, I most likely would have, because, that was a big thing. But, when it comes to stuff like that, like I'm not just gonna jump in for the sake of mixing it up. It's like it gotta make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like 9 times out of 10, if I had gotten into a rap beef with somebody I got a real problem with, you know what I'm saying?
Woman, you ever been in a rap beef, bro?
Nah. I've battle rap before, like, just like, being younger and around, but I never like in this right here, like a professional career as Rome Streetz, like nah.
All right, Rome, I want to get your 60 seconds on this, man. Rule 4080, it's a serious introduction for any MCs, artists getting in the game, like, the perils of the music game and how you can get shafted. And I just want to concentrate on this line where you say, F the fame, the fortune is more important. F the fame, the fortune is more important. How quickly did you come to that prognosis when you came into the music game?
Like that's something that I kind of knew from before I was even in it, but I understand it because you could be famous and broke. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, and then you could be rich and not even famous. But it could be in the music. Like there's a lot of rappers that have a lot of money off rap and they're probably not the most famous person. But then there's a lot of rappers that probably have a lot of fame, but they don't have the money to back up the fame. Because at the end of the day, you could get famous off of some shit that's free. You understand? You can do some viral shit on Instagram and everybody see it, everybody know you, but that don't necessarily equate to dollars. And sometimes people just want that feeling of, oh yeah, everybody knows me, but it's like it's not cool when everybody knows you and you ain't got the money, because those same people that look at you like, oh, you're everybody knows you, in their mind, they assume that you're rich because everybody knows who you are. That's fame. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's people that assume, even me, like, I'm not rich, but there's motherfuckers that know me that think I'm rich. Like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, you hear, y'all guys. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, that shit could be a blurry ass line. And it's like, it's a different perception when you, depending on what side of the line you're on. You understand what I'm saying? The person that's looking at you like you're famous, they got all sorts of expectations and thoughts in their head about you that probably ain't even true just because of what they connect to fame.
SK Vibemaker.